Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here. Weekly, monthly, yearly market recap. Like, subscribe. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Weekly, monthly, yearly stock market recap. We start with the week. 2 consecutive dojis on the SPY. 480, 478. The all-time highs are very tough resistance. Not surprising. Every time all-time highs are very tough resistance until they are not. Now some kind of a pullback retracement back to the 460 even might be very healthy before next leg up towards 500. And the monthly, this is how SPY looks. Clean the chart. All-time highs. 2 consecutive months, very bullish months. 9% November. 4% December. 9 plus 4, 13. You guessed it right. 13 is a Fibonacci. Everything comes down to Fibonacci, whether you like it or not. Above 480, we are heading towards the 520 and 574. And the yearly, it looks like this. If you're trading, investing, long-term holding on the SPY in the past 3 years, nothing much. 383 to the downside, 480 to the upside. Where SPY might be heading next on the yearly time frame, no one knows, but we can take Fibonacci also on the yearly time frame. We can take Fibonacci from the low of January of 09 towards all-time highs, 480. And then what are we going? We are heading towards 810. When? No one knows. But it all comes down to Fibonacci and trend lines. There you have it. Trend line helps us. We can go to the quarterly. Now, where price of SPY might be heading next. This is why we have trend lines. And trend lines shows us the way. And the way, if you are investing long-term holding on the SPY, you're good to go. As long as the SPY is holding above this white trend line, as you can see since January of 09. Now, next will be the 650 area. But don't guess. Take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. Above 480, we are heading towards 577 and then 730. But we are looking on a 3 months time frame. Each candle represents 3 months. 3 months, 1 quarter. Always know your time frame. And the monthly, some will see cup and handle. Cup, handle, above 480, 577, and then this trend line to the upside. We can also take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and on the way up, we have 523, 590 to the upside. QQQ. Each candle represents 1 year. And as you can see, Qs also on the way up this year, 2023, new all-time highs. Now, where Qs might be heading next? This is what we want to know. Let's take the quarterly time frame, and what do you see here? Also some kind of a cup and handle if you want, but Fibonacci traders, we don't follow cups, we don't follow handles, and for certainly we don't follow anything that is unreliable, such as patterns, such as indicators. We follow price, multi-time frames, aka candlestick analysis, Fibonacci, and trend lines. Where Qs are heading next? 470, 555, and if we take on the monthly, we can take this low, inside 470 is incoming. On the weekly, it looks like this. Uptrend channel since lows of October. Next is 470, but we also can see on the weekly and the Qs 2 consecutive dojis, which means some kind of a pullback incoming which will be very, very healthy. Look at this bull run since October, but also here we had 3 months. We had October, November, 3 weeks, sorry. Last week of October, 2 first weeks of November, and then sideways move. Then once again up. Now, 2 weeks of sideways move. Can we get the same price action we saw over here? Can we get it over here? Which means another 40 points to the upside towards 460. Dow Jones on the weekly, 377. All-time highs, new all-time highs each and every week since beginning of December. Dow Jones is heading straight up. On the monthly, it looks like this. 2 very bullish months. 9% November. Around 4-5% December. Now 393 and 414 to the upside, and this is how it looks on a quarterly time frame. Each candle represents 3 months, and as you can see, if you are long-term investor, all you have to do is follow the trend line. This is not a financial advice. This is what we see on the charts. Now, can we get Dow Jones all the way to the 520 area? We can take Fibonacci. Let's ask Fibonacci, can we get 530 together with this white trend line? As you can see, this white trend line goes way back to January and April of 09. Each and every time it holds as a resistance for the higher highs, which means it's a good resistance, which means price is always looking this uptrend line. And as long as price is looking for this uptrend line, we are in an uptrend. Can we get 530 on the Dow Jones? Let me know in the comments below. Yes or no? And if yes, when? During the first quarter? Second quarter? 40% more on the Dow? A little bit stretched out for the Dow to make it in 1 quarter or half year? But never say never. During 2024 or maybe 2025, we can get 530 on the Dow. IWM on the weekly closed above the 200. The 200 was a very tough resistance. As you can see, look left, now closed with a doji on the red. Now this area, the 199, needs to hold. On the monthly, it looks like this. Very bullish month. November 9%. December almost 12%. So together 21-22% on the IWM in 2 months. Super bullish. Now where IWM might be heading next? Towards 2024. Not 2024, 224. Let's go on the 3 months. Finally broke above, as you can see, look left. Since July of 2022, it was stuck between the 160 and the 200. Now, finally broke up above 210, 224, and then 245 to the upside on the IWM. Super bullish year for the Bitcoin. First quarter of 2023, Bitcoin went up 71%. Last quarter, 54%. Overall, Bitcoin went up 150% during 2023. Where Bitcoin might be heading next, you ask? Don't ask. Ask Fibonacci. 48 is the next resistance. Above it, 65,500. And we are looking at a 3 months time frame. Zoom in. This is how it looks on the monthly. This is how it looks. We can take trend lines that will show us the way up. And as long as Bitcoin is inside this channel, we are heading up. Above 48, we will see somewhere around 65 area. On the weekly, it looks like this. Basically, on the weekly, Bitcoin is moving sideways. As you can see, price action is getting tighter and tighter. Inside candle, inside candle. We can take Fibonacci also here. 39,800 needs to hold. Otherwise, we are back to the 36,600, above 44,500, and we are heading towards 51 and then 61 to the upside. Always zoom in, zoom out to get a better point of view of price action, and then you will become a professional trader, not only a professional technical analyst, not only how to look at charts. That's easy. One hour and a half, I can teach you how to look at charts. The difficulty is how to trade it. Ethereum on the quarterly, 25.30. Next resistance above it, 33.70 and 48.50. If we zoom in on the weekly, it looks like this. And this is all we need to understand with the highest probability where Ethereum is heading. Ethereum is heading north above 25.30. Let's ask Fibonacci on the weekly time frame. As you can see, 25.50 needs to hold. Above it, 26 and then 33 together with this orange trend line. By the way, this is our Fibonacci Traders Discord. We have the premium room. We have the exclusive requests room. These two rooms, the premium room is for day trading mostly, and the exclusive requests, as it sounds, exclusive request channels for members, request charts, trading ideas for swing trading. So check the links in the description below if you want to join only these two rooms. You have the gold membership. Now, if you want to take your trading journey to the highest level during 2024, you can choose from the live one-on-one mentorship program. Just go Fibonacci Traders Discord plans. Here you have all the information about the one-on-one live mentorship program. You have the same program, 6 hours expert program, which is basically the same program but pre-recorded. Both programs available in English and in Hebrew. And you have the crash course, 60 minutes on all the basics that you need to know, packed in 60 minutes. You have also, if you want, personal coaching call, one-on-one with me. So check the plans channel in the Fibonacci Traders Discord. Choose your path, choose your language, and join me to this magnificent journey of becoming professional, profitable trader during the first half of 2024. SOXX on the weekly, we have higher lows, higher highs since October of 2022. We can take trend lines. Trend lines helps us to identify the support and resistance for price action, and furthermore, it's the roadmap for future price action. Together with Fibonacci, we can, with the highest probability, understand where price might be heading next. 570 now, past 2 weeks, it was resistance. Last week, support needs to hold, otherwise we are back to the 537. Above last week's highs, we are heading towards the 613. This is how the SOXX looks on a 3 months point of view. All-time highs. Now, can we get continuation towards 700 on the quarterly time frame? Doesn't mean that by April it will do it. It doesn't mean that by June it will do it. But this is a quarterly time frame, and these are future levels for SOXX on the 3 months time frame. Apple on a 3 months time frame, not surprising, moved sideways. 9 months of 12, Apple basically moved sideways. As you can see, this area, the 165 support, all-time highs at the 198, 200 resistance, where Apple might be heading next. Let's zoom in on a monthly time frame. This is not a good candle. This is a doji on a monthly time frame. Every time you see a doji, a trend reversal might be coming. Look at this uptrend. Doji, downside. Downside, doji, upside. Same goes here. Upside, doji, downside, upside, doji, downside. It's not 100% sure, 100% bulletproof, because we had a doji over here and we still went up. But as you can see, one doji, 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 now doji, doji. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dojis, 4 dojis of them suggested a trend reversal, and a trend reversal came after the doji. So below 187, where Apple might be heading next. Let's zoom in to the weekly. We can take Fibonacci. And as you can see on the weekly, 4 weeks, 190, 170 holding a support. Below it, 185 and then 177. Long continuation on Apple, in my opinion, only above 200. And then we will see 210 and 224. Tesla. Let's clean the charts. What do we see? Massive downtrend line since November of 2021. Each and every time Tesla reached this trend line, got rejected, and not surprising, in the past 2 weeks also got rejected by this trend line. 2 consecutive dojis off a trend line, suggesting that pullback in Tesla is incoming. First, let's take a look. Tesla on the monthly. This is how it looks. This is how Tesla looks on a 3 months time frame. Quarterly doji, which means doji is the most significant signal of a trend reversal and indecision in the market. We can take Fibonacci on the daily, swing high, swing low, because we want to the downside below 246, 235, and then this gap at the 224 will get filled. Long on Tesla. If you're not long yet, I would wait for at least a week, week and a half above this area. For now, this area is the 264. As long as we're below this, no long on Tesla. Amazon. Let's clean the chart. This is how Amazon looks on the daily. Nasty price action. This is how Amazon looks on the weekly. Inside candle on the weekly. Well, I don't have the inside here. Bear with me 1 second. Now we can identify inside candles much more easily. Every yellow candle is an inside candle. Inside candle, basically, it's an indecision in the market. And if the market cannot decide, we surely cannot decide. On the monthly, Amazon looks very bullish, as you can see. And if you're a pattern trader, what do you see? Some kind of a left shoulder, head, right shoulder towards the 175. But you know me, you know Fibonacci. We don't rely on patterns, we rely on Fibonacci. Look at this. We take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and look at here. Fibonacci gave us the exact resistance for price action. Look left. This area, the 156, 157, was a perfect support until it broke to the downside, and the high of last week was at this area. Retracement to the 136 on the monthly will not be surprising. On the weekly, it looks like this. 2 consecutive dojis. We also can take Fibonacci on the weekly. It all depends on the time frame that you are trading. Let's take it from here. And now you can see the 148 area is from resistance, needs to hold the support. Otherwise, on the weekly, we are heading back to the 143. By the way, if you like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you want, leave a comment. Any comment, any feedback, any suggestion that you have for this channel, let me know. Anything is acceptable. And I will do my best to answer all your comments and take under consideration all your feedbacks. Weekly Microsoft moving sideways since middle of November. 336, 367 to the downside support. Long continuation above 380, and then we will see 397 and 420. This is how Microsoft looks on a quarterly time frame. This is the doji last quarter of 2022, and since then, just amazing bullish run. 70% on Microsoft. Where Microsoft might be heading next? You don't even need Fibonacci. Take trend lines. And here you have it. The next major resistance for Microsoft on a quarterly will be around 415, 420 area. And then let's see where price will head next. Let's go to the weekly. Let's ask Fibonacci on the weekly, where are we heading next? Above 384, 507, and then 440 together with this white trend line. Know your trend lines, know your Fibonacci, know multi-time frames. Only by really mastering multi-time frames, then you can really understand where price with the highest probability might be heading next. Meta, same goes for Meta. Super bullish run. Since October 2022, Meta gave us from this low until Friday 300%. Amazing run. Now let's see where Meta is heading next. 327 is the support. Below it we are back to the 300 and then 284. We can take also Fibonacci from here. It will give us more supports and resistance all the way to here. Now 330, 344 needs to hold. Below it 314. Long continuation above previous week towards all-time highs at the 383. Shopify, broadening formation. You know this broadening formation. We drew this broadening formation a few weeks back, and here we are once again. Inside candle, doji after doji. This trend line is a great example of why trend lines are our roadmap for future price action. All this area, look at here. This is resistance for the higher highs. This is a support for the higher lows. This trend line, support for the higher lows, resistance, and once again, resistance for the higher highs. Now some kind of a pullback, maybe back to the 70, 71 area. It was the peak over here. It was the peak over here. It was support for these 3 weeks. Pullback, and then we will look for the next leg up. AMD, a beast. Since October, AMD went up 56%. This orange trend line, once again, resistance, as you can see. Now, can AMD bulls continue this bullish madness towards 165? Above it, let's check 3 months. Look at this. Amazing. Just amazing. beast. On the quarterly time frame, we are heading towards the 165, 166, and then 223 and 327. Another 120% to the upside. Never say never. Never say never. Google 3 months time frame, clean the chart. Also gave a very nice run during 2023. 67% to the upside since beginning of this year. Now, where price of Google might be heading next? Take Fibonacci, take trend lines. They will show you the way. You have this one and this one, uptrend channel until proven otherwise. Last week, we closed with a small candle. This is not a doji. It's a small candle, which means nothing on the price action. Just a tight price action. Above 141, 142, we are heading towards 148 and then 156. 136 needs to hold, otherwise we will go back and retesting this orange trend line once again as support. Nvidia, this red zone, you know it, we drew it way back, few weeks back, few months back already. And Nvidia is just struggling 1 week after another since beginning of November. Struggling also here, August. Very tough resistance, this red zone. And if bulls of Nvidia will, and eventually they will, give up trying to break up and above, we have a double top, multi-top scenario on Nvidia going back to the 460, 450 area. Below 450, we are heading back to this green zone support. Take Fibonacci from zone to zone and you have all the levels to the downside. And if you want, take a reverse to the upside. And if, and it's a big if, because until now Nvidia failed to break above the 500, but if Nvidia will succeed to break at least 1.5 weeks, we will see 436 and then 600 to the upside. Netflix, last but not least, broadening formation. Clean the chart on a 3 months time frame. We had these two major dips, red candles during 2022. Now, during 2023, Netflix is trying to gain back everything, going towards the 610 area. Take Fibonacci, and here you have next resistance is the 510. Above 510 on a 3 months time frame, 600 and then 700 to the upside. On the weekly, it looks like this. Clean the chart, take trend lines. You have a nice uptrend channel over here. Above 500, where are we heading with Netflix? 532 and 600 to the upside. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to Fibonacci, trend lines, and in-depth candlestick analysis and multi-time frames. Join me on this magnificent journey. I will teach you everything that I know to help you. As long as you are committed to the process, I will be committed to you 200%, because I want each and every one of you to know how to trade, to know how to manage risk, and to know how to manage your money on your journey to financial freedom. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Stay tuned for more videos coming up this week. Until Tuesday, enjoy the rest of your weekend.